Hello everyone. So let's see another scenario today, and in which what we are doing copy data from the ADLS container into the Snowflake table. Copy data from ADLS container into the Snowflake table. So over here, what we have, let's see that one. So this is my landing container, right? Into the landing container, if you see, this is one file over here, customer.csv file is there, and let me edit this particular file. So these are the data available into this file. So what we need to do is we need to load that particular data into this customer product.customer table. So let me truncate this table. If it is a data available, it will be truncated, right? So let it truncate. Okay, it is successful. Now let me go through the schema and data. So if you see, there are two columns are there available over here, customer ID and customer name, and over here also into the CSV file, cust ID and name columns are there, right? So what we are doing over here, we need to create firstly one Snowflake account, right? So you can search like this, create Snowflake account for the, and then it will ask you to fill up some detail, right? It will ask you some detail. So you need to give it like, write like your name, then your last name over here you can mention, then you can mention the Gmail address as well, then you can mention company name not applicable, BI analyst, let me continue, and you can mention this enterprise edition, and you can mention like you want to host it into some environment. So Snowflake does not have their own environment, you need to either host it into any of these three cloud, right? So either Microsoft Azure, Amazon, or GCP, and it will give you some credit, right? It will give you some credit. So I have already created this Snowflake account. So if you see over here, this is my Snowflake account, right? So let me go through this profile section, and over here, if you see this one, and let me copy this copy account URL. So this is my required information, right? This is my required information. Let me open the notepad file. So see, this is what required. This is my account name over here. Up to over here, this is my account name. Right now, there will be one data warehouse also will be there, in which the Snowflake query get executed. Right. So that data warehouse detail also you will find somewhere. Let me try. This is, so if you see over here, the data that these are the warehouse. These are the warehouse compute underscore dh. We need to copy this warehouse name, and this one is getting auto resume when we are executing our query, right? So these are the warehouse name which is required at the time of creation of the link service. Then what is the, in the data tab you will find all the databases over here. So my database is my database name is my database, right? Now there must be some username and password will be also be there to connect. So So now let's see. We need to create a link service for to connect with the Snowflake account, right? So I have already created that link service. Let me go to show you that particular link service. So see, this is the account name I have entered over here, right? This is the account name I have entered over here. Then my database name is this one. Database name is my database. My database is my database name. Then compute underscore H is my warehouse name. And we need to connect. So at the time of creation this Snowflake account, you have given some user and name and password, right? So that username and password also you need to mention over here, and then you can do test connection. So it should be ideally connection should be successful, right? So let it connect. It may take some time to connect with this specific Snowflake environment. Okay, connection is successful now. Now another requirement is you need to create one shared access link service. So if you see over here, you need to connect one link service which is having share access URI, right? So if you see over here, this is my blob storage link service, right? And over here SaaS URI link service I have created. You cannot create the link service with account key. That will not be useful over here. And one more thing over here it is a requirement of SaaS URL and SaaS token. So where that SaaS URL and SaaS token you can take. So what you need to do, you need to go through this container. So let me show you that one. You need to go to this one. Then over here in the networking side, right? In the networking side, SaaS access signature is available, right? Access signature is available, and you need to select all this one, and you need to specify this end date over here. So let me specify this with, and now let me generate the token. So it will generate some token, right? It will generate some token, and from this URL you have to pick up to here only, right? .net, because if you see over here into this link service, it is up to here only. Now I have copied that one, and I also need to copy this security token, right? SaaS token. So I have copied this SaaS token as well. Now let me copy paste that SaaS token over here, and let me do the test connection whether it will allowed me or not. Okay, connection is successful. Now I am applying that specific connection. Now let me go through the pipeline. So now what is my requirement? My requirement is to copy this. If I open this particular data set, right? If I open this particular data set, it is pointing to this landing container and customer CSV file, right? This landing container and customer CSV file, right? So my requirement is I need to load this data into this particular table which is available over here, right? So which is available over here. So let me go to this home tab again. So let me show you that particular table whether it has any record or not. So let me select that specific schema. Schema is product and table name is customer, right? So we want to load the data into this particular table. So currently there are no data is there, right? Now now if you, this is how I have created the share access signature token, right? URL and token, and that I have used over here into my link service, right? That I have shown you. So this is my source data set, and over here this is my in the sync data set. What I am doing, I am truncating this particular table if it is data is already available, and I am using this particular link service, right? I am using this particular link service. It is already tested, and I also need to do one more thing over here. I need to select over here into the settings side, into the staging account link service. I need to select that shared access signature link service, right? Because if we do not have select this particular link service, then it will throw error that you cannot directly copy data from the storage environment into the Snowflake table. So you need to use this specific shared access signature link service. So that is why I have created this share access link service, right? And I also need to select this storage path into which I want to temporarily store that particular data or particular file, right? So this will be the intermediate one. And now let me debug this pipeline. So let me debug this pipeline. It may take some time, but once this pipeline is successfully executed, the data should be available into this particular table, right? Because schema is same of this file as well as of this particular table also, right? So I think pipeline is still in progress. Let's let executed. So it will take some time, right? Around 1 minute or 2 minutes it will take, and then we will able to see the result. Okay, now see it is successful, and let me, it is succeeded. It has read 5 rows from the source file, and it is loaded 5 rows into the table. Now if you go to your environment, Snowflake environment, and if you execute this query, you will see the data, right? You will see the data over here. So data is available. Now there is one more requirement. Let me show you that as well. So now my requirement is little different. So see, I have this five files available into my source container, right? I have these 5 files available into my source container, and I want to load all the 5 files data into the into this particular all 5 tables, right? So 1 2 3 4 5. So let me, it is 2 into these 5 different tables, right? But I don't want to load it one by one. I want to load it all at one go. I want to load it all at one go. So what can I do? Firstly, let me remove the data from all these five tables. I am removing data from this Snowflake environment, right? And again, all these 5 tables is created into this particular my database, right? My database dot product schema. So let me remove this also. So I have removed data from all the file, all the 5 tables. Now if I executed this particular query, it will be having no data, right? No data. Now table structures of all these files are similar, right? Because in the CSV file also the structure will be similar. So now what I have to do, I have to use the get metadata activity over here. And in the get metadata activity, what I can do, I can particularly point to that particular container only, landing container, right? This landing container, right? And let me go to this home page. And into this landing container, I cannot select any of the file as of now. So, and let me see the link service also. It is using this particular link service. Okay. Now, see over here, if I particularly execute this child item, so it will iterate through all the child items and it will give me the name, right? It will give me the name of all the child items which it is retrieving. So see, it is retrieving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 child items, right? 6 child items. Now let me do one thing. For temporary, I am deleting this file because I don't want it. And now if I debug it again, then it will give me 5 different tables. Sorry, 5 different file names, right? 5 different file names it will give me. Just wait for the moment. Okay, it is executed successfully. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now I have to use the for each loop or for each activity, right? And in the for each activity, now see the result of this particular get metadata. It will giving me child items is giving me name and type. So from this particular property, I want name only, right? So over here you can use that particular child items, and inside the for each container, what you can do in the source, you can give it item dot name, because I want to iterate through each of the file one by one, right? So in the first iteration, it will loop through the q1.csv file. Second time, it will loop through the second q.2.csv file, right? And then in the sync, I have given this Snowflake. I have point to this particular Snowflake dataset and Snowflake link service, right? Which I have already created, right? Now, again, I need to use that in the setting one. Again, I need to use that share access signature link service for temporary storage of the all the files data. Then only I can move data from the eh, blob storage to the Snowflake tables, right? Otherwise, it will throw some error. So now if I execute this particular pipeline, so let me show you trigger now. If I execute this pipeline and I do trigger now, then all the five files data it will read one by one. And what it will do, it will load the data into this particular all the 5 tables one by one, right? So why one by one? Because over here in the for each activity, I have mentioned over here sequential, right? And over here, I want to give it a proper name to the table. So what I have done, I have replaced this CSV with nothing, right? With nothing. So it will give me the proper name of the table, right? So let it run. It will take some time. I think I need to debug the entire pipeline. Okay, it is in progress. So it will load all the five tables data, or all the five files data into this particular tables. But for that purpose, you need to remember one thing. You should have table should be created into your Snowflake environment. Otherwise, it will throw some error, right? Like this particular table is not exist. So just wait for 2 more minutes. I think it will get. See, it is started copying data, right? One. So this for each activity or copy activity will run as much number of times as the we have files available into this lending container, right? If we have five files are there, then it will run 5 times, right? So let it finish. Mm, so this one we can say in the interview they are also asking that how you can load the data from the Azure Azure Blob storage or Data Lake storage into the Snowflake environment. So what things you have to do, that all thing you need to explain, which I have shown you into this particular video, right? So let it be run. I think it has already completed to load the three tables data. Just 4 and 5 are pending. So it will take some time. So over here the important is the creation of the link service, which is using this shared access signature as well as this Snowflake environment, right? Which I have shown you over here. And it will use the auto resolve integration runtime because Snowflake is also one of the cloud, right? That is why it is using the auto resolve integration runtime, right? So I think the last two are pending, I think. Okay, now last one is pending. So let me directly go through this table and let's see whether the data is available or not. So if you see over here, yes, we have data is available, right? We have data is available over here into this table, right? Now let's see again. Yes, it is also having the data is available. So all these table are now data is available into the Snowflake environment, right? So this is how you can load the data from the Azure Blob storage into the Snowflake environment, right? So we have seen the data is available now. So thank you so much everyone. I will upload more and more scenario based interview questions into my course as soon as possible. Thank you.